and making them have to work for the next point.
Well, now, early on here, Bridgeport, the Purple Knights, have turned it around in some measure on the Knights. Here inside, and making a bad pass was Boykin trying to force that ball to somebody, and it was tipped by the Knights of Queens and out of bounds off Queens. It'll stay with Bridgeport from underneath. 22 seconds to shoot. We're almost 5 minutes into the second half. Baseline jumper is up and over the bucket that time by Frazier and out of bounds as they could not capture it on the other side. Going up was Phillips trying to grab it out of the air. Couldn't hold it.
Rush shot there, I think, a little bit by Frazier. I think he could have set himself a little better before taking that shot. He had a little bit of room to work with.
Bridgeport putting some pressure on now, and Singleton brings it across, gets it over to Lacayo. Lacayo along the baseline, swings it over to Simmons, out to Alicott. 21 to shoot. Alicott looking. Flips it over to Singleton. Singleton has to back out a couple of times. Still 10-second shot clock. Boy, Bridgeport playing real tough defense. Alicott works himself free. Jumper from just inside of three is no good, and the rebound is snatched by Bridgeport, and here they go again.
Great defensive possession for Bridgeport. Really stifled Queens. They really couldn't get off a good shot in that possession.
Stennis missed. It looked like he was right over the three-point line with that on his jump shot, but it went out of bounds off Queens. John, you got to look at that too. Was Stennis in three-point range? Because they moved the men's three-point arc out a little bit this year.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, it was hard to tell. Here's Boykin in the right corner. That is a three, but it's no good. And they circle the rim. And the Knights catch on to it with 14:39 to go. But a bad pass, and Boykin takes it away. Boykin to Stennis to Boykin. Blocked by Simmons. Simmons shadowed the play. You could see him getting back there. And he was getting himself in position.
2-on-1 there. Great defensive effort.
Great defensive effort. They give it away. And a hitch up your wagons again. Here we go. Stennis. It's a two-point game.
And that time, there's not much Simmons could have done on that one. Stennis just skying over him on that.
Well, obviously, when it gets into a running game, this is Bridgeport's game. 14 minutes to go, and the Knights need a timeout. 14:03 on the clock. 48-46 Queens. You don't want to let Bridgeport start hitching it up and running.
And as good as Queens looked in the first half, Bridgeport has looked even better in the second half.
Well, we can just pick it up right here. And we saw Queens with a 44-33 halftime lead. And the tables have been almost completely reversed on them. It's been to this point, a 15-2 half.
Yeah, that 11-point lead went away pretty quickly. Now it looks like we're going to have ourselves a tight game for the final 14 minutes. And it looked like Queens could have came out and put this game away with a little bit of run. But it wasn't to be, so we'll see how it goes.
All right. The Knights will have to find a way to get it going again. Now,
Queens did a nice job of forcing turnovers in the first half.
Yes, they did.
And,
yes, they did. And that has completely vanished right now.
And now it's Bridgeport forcing the turnover, getting the easy buckets.
Queens has scored 4 points in this half, and Bridgeport has scored 13. Let me check that, because I was stumped to myself. I said, how could it be a 15-2 run and Queens is still ahead? But it was 13-4. That's what it's about. But that's big enough, I'll tell you that.
Definitely.
Back to the court comes Bridgeport. 14:03 to go. And obviously, Coach Mike Rowan likes what's going on out there, so he's basically going to leave the same people out. They've struck on something. Jermaine Washington, number 11, is the only change. And here's Queens with the ball. And Queens has Eugene with Lands and Leander up front. Now, they're going to go with 3 guards. 2 guards and 3 forwards, excuse me. Come around the perimeter, they do. Pitch it back out. And here is Alicott with the basketball. 6 to shoot, 5 to shoot. He gets in the lane, pops it up. Good. Alicott. Nice move, showing us why he was chosen to the third team as a freshman last year in the ECC. He did a fine job in his freshman year. 50-46, the Knights are now ahead by 4. They have to get that intensity back they had on the first half. Boykin wings it over quickly. Now they dump it inside, and the ball gets away from Phillips as they were trying to work it around the wheel and dump it into Phillips, but it was off his knee and out of bounds as it caromed all the way to the baseline. Lively carom on that, and the Knights will get it of Queens. So Queens College has built up a 4-point lead again. Here's Leander with it, giving it over to Allicott. 13:07 to go. Allicott with the defender right on him, Washington. Now cross court they go to Lacayo. Lacayo head of the key. Adil looking. Swings it over to Lands, being very patient because this is very tough defense by Bridgeport. They're not giving an inch right now. Allicott turns, gets around his man, cuts to the lane, fires heads. 2 big shots by Khalif Allicott.
Well, Allicott didn't have much to work with on that possession. A great job.
52-46. All the way to the glass went Bridgeport on the drive down. Couldn't get it to go. Steve Martin couldn't get his rebound either. Tough effort by Martin, but no basket, and the Knights come the other way with a 6-point lead. Allicott, no good. That one was a little short. Grabbed on the weak side by Jermaine Washington, who grabbed the rebound and starts up court, and we have a stoppage of play. They call the weak side anything where there's no big player or someone sneaks in on the other side. And he did a good job of staying in that position to peel off the rebound. A lot of little things, if you want to get that break started, like Bridgeport has several times tonight, and Queens has had to get back in a hurry. All right, now Bridgeport gets the top of the key and three-point arc, and knocking it down was Jermaine Washington.
You talked about Bridgeport being a good shooting team, and they've been shooting a lot better here so far in the second half.
Yeah, turning it on in that end of it. 52-49, Knights by 3, and Leander missed that little turnaround in the lane. Here's Stennis. He doesn't miss on his drive. He's got 22. It's a 1-point lead, 52-51.
You can see why Stennis is so tough to defend because he's so quick, but he's big and strong, and there's really not much you can do to defend him.
He's out of Lewis and Clark Community College. Here into the lane. Speaking of tough, is Martin Singleton. He drew contact on that. He'll go to the free throw line. More on Stennis. He is originally from St. Louis, Missouri. Got about a 6'4" player there, a 6'5" player, and a good one.
Oh yeah.
He has those unique low post moves. He's able to get there in a hurry.
But he's quick like a guard, but he plays forward. So
here's the drive into the lane, and we have another foul.
Looks like Stennis landed hard on
Lacayo. Not going to get into naming the school, but you watch a player that plays like that pretty much at a small forward position.
Are you referring to Phipps?
Yes.
Yes.
He plays somewhat like that. But this Stennis brings it up another level because he's going up against a little bigger post player now.
And he can shoot it from outside.
And he can shoot it from outside. And he knows how to get up court and get his points too. Some of these guys are right on the line of being a lower Division I player, and then, nobody grabs them or wants to put them on the bench somewhere, and they don't want to do that. So if they come here, they're going to play. They're going to start, or they're going to be part of a winning team, and they want to do that.
And sometimes there's some players who could play Division I, but for whatever reason they choose to go D2, whether it's the major they want or it's close to home. You never really know what the reason is.
Again, they're trying to sort out a situation at the table. And we'll watch Adil Lacayo, meanwhile, go to the free throw line with Queens ahead by 1. As John had stated, Stennis almost landed on him, and the foul was whistled. Here's the first. It is good. And they did not give that foul to Stennis. They gave it to Marquise Moore.